Welcome to another episode of the Victor and the Giant Fox Music Review Podcast.
Yeah.
Today I'm here with my co-host, non-titular Mike.
What's up, everybody?
And today it's actually Mike and the Giant Fox because Victor is dead
Yeah.
to us until for the next couple weeks, and then he'll be back.
Darn
And
shame,
then-
too.
Yeah.
Darn shame.
We did what we could do, you know, all we could do. And somewhere Victor's out there and he just knocked you, man. Well, today we are looking at Bullet for My Valentine and their newest album, Bullet for My Valentine. All right. So if you're new to this podcast, what we do is we like to look at recent releases in the heavy music world. We like to, Bullet for My Valentine's a pretty big band, but we do like to look at bands that we may not have heard of before, or maybe we just haven't listened to them in a while, like Bullet for My Valentine in my case. Anyway, Mike?
It's been a while, man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been quite a while.
Right. So we like to revisit them. Tell you what we think of them. Maybe you want to check them out after you hear what we have to say. Maybe you're like, I'm definitely not checking them out now.
Yeah.
Hopefully
we can shed some light.
Exactly. We're shedders.
Mm-hmm. We are shedders. We shed things.
Yeah, we do.
We shed a lot, man.
We do. Well, with that, let's just let's go to the breakdown.
Yeah.
Of Bullet for My Valentine and their
I'm feeling it.
self-titled
I'm feeling it.
2021
Let's
album. Go ahead, kick us off.
Good, man. All right. So, Bullet for My Valentine, man. These guys, we've been into Bullet for My Valentine. Well, known about them since their first Let's Go. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Tears Don't Fall. Back in the day.
Tears Don't Fall, yeah. Which that was like 2004?
I had to be, man.
Yeah.
They were young.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they made waves, man, in the metal scene, especially with the Same Kids.
Yes.
And yeah, they're still going.
They still are. I had no idea.
Really?
Honestly, I didn't know they were still around.
Yeah.
Until I think they dropped a new single or something. Oh no. It was from this album. It was Rainbow Veins or something.
Rainbow Veins. Single. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had one called Stitches. I don't know if that was a single or an album.
I think it was a single.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're still going. But they kind of went the way of most kind of jock rock metal bands do.
Right.
And didn't change anything. Yeah, so that's why I'm not going song by song, because it kind of, you feel how I feel about this.
Oh yeah.
Starting off with Parasite. Not going song by song, but
right.
Parasite's interesting because the way it starts, man, it gives you that nostalgic feel. It's playing all their old songs like on an old radio.
Right.
Which is pretty cool. I thought that was a interesting way to, bring a new album in.
Right.
Also, this is like, I know you're going to talk about this later, but this is a lot of albums in.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And now they're doing a self-title,
right,
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Parasite was interesting. The music is there. Their music has probably stepped up. Like I like the metal. I like what they, all of the intricate beats they have. Like I genuinely feel like the music is metal.
You're right.
It's good, and Parasite had some interesting.
It would be thrash, right? Is what you'd call it, thrash metal or thrash core? No, probably not thrash core, but thrash metal.
Yeah. I don't know if thrash metalheads would call it thrash. but it's,
Right.
you know, it's in that vein. It's fast. It's, you know,
Right.
kind of chaotic, but they throw like, you know, melodies in there and stuff like that.
I guess I'm mainly thinking like when he goes into his screams.
Oh yeah. Yeah. His
kind of a
scream
thrash.
is more thrash, I'd say. Yeah. And dude, the funny thing is the backup screamer has gotten insanely good at screaming. A lot of the screams are him.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
It's because the lead singer, whatever, he doesn't really scream all that much anymore.
Oh, okay.
Not sure why.
Maybe it's because now they have an awesome other screamer in their band, so he doesn't need to.
Dude, yeah. I mean, it's funny because it's the same guy.
Oh.
Like, he's been the backup screamer vocalist for a long time, but it's always just been like, eh.
Oh,
like,
gotcha.
Dude, maybe don't, you know, scream so much. And now he gets accolades from so many people every time they hear him live or hear him, you know, somewhere else.
He's been working on it.
Yeah, man. So kudos to that guy.
Yeah.
Not a fan of the main guy's voice still.
His screaming or his singing?
Singing. Never really been a fan of Bullet for My Valentine's singing, you know?
So it was just the instrumentation you were into?
Pretty much.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. I didn't have much written for this album because dude.
Because why, Mike? Because why?
It's just
Say it.
Earlier I said this band was kind of like hot trash, or this album was like hot trash.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel that way. It just, dude, the lyrics are awful. Just, there's nothing behind the lyrics. They're all the same. Like, you can find 25 songs that probably say the same thing in their library of music, you know? And it's just the same everything, you know, same storylines, same songwriting, same, you know, it just, nothing changed.
Right.
The really big standout quality, I think, in this album is anytime there's a solo.
Yeah.
Or like the music changes and it's just the music going on, you know? And those parts are really cool. Yeah, the band shines. Everybody plays amazing. Like they're all talented musicians. But it dies. Like it dies down when it gets back into the verses that are, you know, kind of, they slow down and they're more singing and, you know, melodramatic and everything. But it just doesn't hit.
So it's like thrash rock almost.
Yes,
like,
dude.
or it's like half and half.
Yes, it really is, man.
Yeah.
And that saddens me because you know, most bands, we talk about this a lot. Most bands evolve,
Right.
You know, they change, they turn into, you know, whatever they are now, and they get better. And, you know, music wise, these guys just stayed the same, man. They're still back in 04. Or whatever it was, playing Tears Don't Fall and just leaning hard on that. You know?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Something needs to change or grow up, you know?
Right.
And I think they went on a hiatus for a while and then came back and everyone thought it was going to be new band, you know, like new everything, but it's the same.
So would you say that this is worse than their old stuff, or just on par and like, or a little stale for like, it's as good as their old stuff, but it's no better or fresher or newer?
Man, that's a good question, man.
Thanks, man.
That's a really good question. I would say it's, if at all better, it's slightly.
Oh, okay. So like if what was there was Tears Don't Fall and then like Scream, Aim, Fire. I remember that being like their new stuff. Yeah. That was the last like of their stuff that I was into, or that I remember being into anyway. And like, so if it went Tears Don't Fall, the one I just said, Scream, Aim, Fire, boom, self-titled album, what would you say that we would have enjoyed it, or you would have enjoyed it a lot more than reality?
I think so. I think I would have, if this album came out back then, was like the third album or something. Yeah, I would have liked it. I would have enjoyed it a lot more because it's, like I said, the music's there. The instrumentation is there. If there's any redeeming qualities, it's that.
Right.
Like you get through half of the song and then later on there's a cool part where, they play something interesting, they do something different, the groove changes, and you're like, wow, all right, that was cool. And then it's back.
Right.
It goes, just the ship just sinks, It's like, come on. They take a nosedive. But yeah, it's like their old stuff in a sense too, where it hasn't changed much.
Oh, okay.
And that sucks because they were kind of, I do honestly think they were somewhat of a pioneer band to push whatever kind of metal this is, or even was back then, like
thrash rockcore.
Yeah.
Metal.
You had like Hand of Red, you had Tears Don't Fall, you had Waking the Demon, Scream Aim Fire. Dude, there's a list of these, really good songs actually, decent songs. Hearts Burst Into Fire.
Yes.
Dude, that is still one of my favorite guitar solos in the beginning of that song. I mean, so, they're great musicians, all of them. And I mean, the lead singer is a guitar player, they're all great musicians. But I wish they would let that rock more. Like let it breathe, it needs to breathe a little bit more but they also fall into the problem of repetitive choruses.
Yeah, right.
Just over and over and over and poking the dead horse with a stick.
Right. Well, I think that's how you get radio play. And I mean, even in the
sadly,
like the what are they? Stations, the radio stations that are sorry. It's been a while.
Those things. They're still around?
Even the ones that are friendlier to metal still like you need I don't know if you need, but they want, it seems like the stuff you can sing along with, the stuff that people, catch on to catch on to the lyrics and all that. And so I think that's why they do it.
I'm looking at you, All That Remains.
Yeah. Well,
you had 6, jerks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, what do you think, man? Give me some of your feedback. What do you think?
The first with Parasite, I won't say that it was like, anything like it wasn't metal or whatever. It was, it was good. It was heavy. It was thrashy. But right from the outset, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to like this album at all.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if it was the second or third track, Knives, was probably my favorite track on the album. But as I'm going through it, I was listening to it on Spotify and I was like, I kind of was listening to it for a while. And then like towards the end of the album, I was like, oh man, this is awesome. And then I look and I'd already listened to the whole album. I was listening to something else, but
yes.
It wasn't bad enough that it was hard to get through.
Yeah.
It was actually what this album reminded me of back to front was when before video games were, they were online, but it wasn't like if you bought a video game, it wasn't like just to play online. Like it seemed, I don't know how it is now. What'd you say?
Couch co-op.
Yeah. Couch co-op, or just couch on your own. You don't need an internet connection to play it. Excuse me. But so it reminded me of that, Halo 3 or whatever. And I'd put on, whatever. I'd put on an album. I put on music, and just let it play in the background while I played the game. Right. That's what this reminded me of. Not listening specifically to the music, but it had the good, like it gives you a good vibe, you know,
Yeah.
a good action game. I wouldn't do it if I was playing like LA Noire or one of those, you know,
Right.
one of those games back then. But for a shooter or, you know, Skyrim or something.
Yeah. Where you need a little oomph.
Yeah. You need something to feel the action.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of, you know? So I wouldn't put they're probably maybe Knives. I don't think I'd put any of the other songs on my playlist.
Right. I think that was the one I liked too.
Man, it's because we're right here, man.
Sorry. Yeah.
Right here. But the rest of them, I wouldn't rush to shut them off if they were on. I don't know that I would seek them out, put them on my playlist, choose to listen to them.
Yeah.
But overall, I gave it, what did I give it? I think I gave it a 6.
A 6?
A 6.
Wow.
Maybe it was a 5.5.
Okay.
And I chickened out and went to 6 but no, we'll do it right. It was 5.5.
All right. 5.5.
It was middle of the road, but it wasn't hard to get through.
Okay. Dude.
Yeah.
That's decent. That's, you know, that's pretty good. See, I felt that after Knives and my Reverie, my
Ferrari.
Every song after that sounded like the same song to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Just drudging on the same old, you know, same beats, same tone, same, you know, lyrics, everything the same except for the end where they all played.
Right.
You know. Yeah, it was just it was too much of that. And nothing changed. Like nothing changed.
Right.
Until the thing was over.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, geez, wow, it's that was it.
Yeah.
You know? So, man, I gave this a 4, dude.
A 4?
Yeah. I was just disappointed. Right. Gonna be honest, I couldn't wait to listen to something else.
Yeah.
I don't think any of these songs are really going on my playlist, to be honest.
Right.
Which sucks. I mean, I will go back and listen to their old stuff. Sure. Why not?
Right.
Especially for like.
I mean, you kind of just did with this album, but
yeah.
I know what you mean, though.
Yeah. Especially for nostalgia's sake, like you were
Right.
talking about. I mean, you know, that was most of our childhood growing up and stuff
Right,
like
right.
that was bands like this. So, yeah. I'm giving it a solid 4, man. Solid 4.
I'm trying to remember the last band you gave a 4 to. I think I rated it a 6 as well.
Really?
Yeah,
Dang.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know. Well, and it should be if you're newer to the podcast, we try not to harp too negatively on bands, especially newer ones. We don't want like that negativity out there. We were a band once.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And well, we don't need to get into that right now. But but with a bigger band like this, I feel like it's okay to be honest. But we also, to clarify, we come much more from like metalcore. Would you say you're thrashcore? Maybe some death metal in there.
A little bit of death metal in there.
And for me, pretty much down the board melodic metalcore. Bands like Killswitch, As I Lay Dying, Haste the Day.
August Burns Red.
August Burns Red. I've gotten more of an appreciation for them as I've gotten older. Back then, I mean, I never hated them, but back then I was really into bands that had clean vocals, and they didn't do that a lot.
Yeah, they had like one song for 3 albums.
Right, exactly. So I always recognized the talent. It just was never my cup of tea. Well, I shouldn't say never. Back then it wasn't.
Never say never, dude.
Never say never, man.
Biebs taught us that.
Is that who taught us that? Dang.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
he
you're
gets his
right.
peaches down in Georgia, dude. Come on.
But where does he get his weed from?
Tune in next time to find out where Biebs gets his weed.
They have had 7 studio albums.
Jeez.
Pretty sure that's correct here.
Yeah, I think you're right.
See what? Oh, you know what? once we get to the trivia side of it, it'll be a little different. I mean, it'll inform this a little bit, but anyways, they had the albums we were into: 2005, The Poison, 2008, Scream, Aim, Fire.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Fever, 2010, Temper in 2013, which never mind. Venom in 2015. Does that have to do with the movie?
No.
Oh, okay. No. It's just what they, okay. Because they had The Poison, but not the Venom, just Venom.
Yeah, didn't they do a whole bunch of like re-releases? Is there a lot of re-released albums right there? Like it's the same.
Let me check it out.
Looking album.
I don't know. Well, anyways, let me just finish off this list here.
Go for it.
Gravity in so Venom was in 2015, Gravity 2018, and then Bullet for My Valentine 2021. So I would say, at least going by their albums, they did not go on hiatus, or at least not a long one.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. I thought they were gone for a little bit.
I think maybe we just stopped paying attention to them.
Yeah. Dang.
Their members currently Matt Tuck. In case you weren't sure where the nickname Matt would come from, it comes from Matthew. Michael Paget.
I think Page.
Page is the nickname, but so Paget, I guess. I don't know. Jamie Mathias on bass and backing vocals. Oh, did I say what they all did?
No.
Matt Tuck is lead vocals, rhythm guitar. Michael Paget is lead guitar, backing vocals. Jamie Mathias is bass and backing vocals. And Jason Bold, drums and percussion.
Nice.
So with that, let's go on to our next segment, super historical, very interesting, completely factual trivia. The most interesting thing I could find on them was that they used to be, they're from 1998, that's when they formed, to 2003.
Dang. Yeah.
They were named Jeff Killed John.
Huh.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
I don't know if that's a Welsh thing or what. They're Welsh, by the way.
Welsh.
Which means they come from the land of Welch's grape jelly. But yeah, so that was the most interesting thing to me. That's a great name for a band, is Jeff Killed John.
Yeah. We gotta find out where that came from. That's interesting.
See, I didn't, but I have a feeling that it's going to be one of those where it's like not as interesting, like you hope it's really interesting because it's an interesting name, and then it just goes away. It's not interesting. That's all I have, that's all I have. So let's go on to our final segment, Giant Fox Take. I don't know if you know this. I'm somewhat of an ideas man. Instead of giving a classic, hilarious, genius take, I thought I would just share with you a pitch for the business you're working towards, which is Rough Boys. I don't know if it's grooming or I don't know, but you're tagging onto that. But I know Rough Boys.
Yeah.
Rough Boys.
All right.
So while we're recording, I'm going to pressure you into saying this is a good idea. But
yeah.
Food scented beard oils. Right now, so I've been growing this beard. You can watch the podcast. It's been growing, and it stays, nice and silky.
Yeah.
At least it looks that way on camera. And it's tonight. It's because on the way here, I was scarfing down a chorizo burrito.
Oh,
and
yes.
That can be pretty greasy. Those of you who may not know that. And so I've been smelling it this entire episode.
That's great.
Bouncing off the microphone right back into my nose.
Heck yeah, man.
And I just thought to myself, why waste time going with exotic ingredients, well-tested products? No. You just go to your local carniceria your local taqueria, clear out their grease trap.
Hey, man.
There you go. Beard oil.
Yeah. You know, naturally oiled beard and skin. It's good for you.
Exactly.
You know? I can see where this is going.
I'm going to give you for free for your 4 top performing flavors.
Man, go.
Scents.
Let's hear this.
Chorizo, obviously.
Yeah.
Brisket, of course.
Who doesn't love brisket?
Exactly. Bacon, duh.
Yeah.
And then you could even have like a special edition maple bacon. That's not the 4th one. That's just off the dome.
Man.
And then number 4, I don't think you're ready for this.
I'm not ready.
I don't think they're ready for it.
I don't think they're ready either.
But number 4.
Give it to him, Titus.
Holiday ham. Yeah. Yep.
My God.
Yeah.
I just smelled the ham cooking for Christmas.
Yes,
man.
you did, sir.
That's amazing.
You sure did.
I
will say a couple of those flavors are not going to be very popular with possibly your biggest customer base, which would be Jews and Muslims. But just make sure the non-pork based products are halal and kosher. Dude, and there you go.
We got to have a kosher line.
Yep.
You know, we got a kosher line. We got an organic line.
There you go.
And where they meet is holiday ham.
There you go.
And bacon flavor scented oils.
Well, I mean, it'd be pretty hard to get it scented that way without it being flavored that way, I think.
Dude, who doesn't want an oil you can't also eat?
Exactly. Talking about sustainability, people.
Shoot. Man, I'm liking this idea. That's a good take, Titus.
Thank you. That's Giant
take.
Fox Takes.
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of our podcast.
Yeah, that's it. It was a short one, man.
I just did the fade on accident.
Ooh. Wow, that's cool.
I got this one right here too.
Oh, shoot, man. That fade from the top slides to the right. Look at that.
Yeah.
That might be the left stage right. But, dude, yeah. It was a good short podcast.
It was. That was good. What are we at? 30? Okay, it wasn't that short.
Jeez. What did we talk about?
Bacon. So if you enjoyed what you watched, if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, or if you enjoyed what you heard, listening on whatever platform you're listening to, we always appreciate likes, subscribes, tippity tap, the notification bell, the subscription button, all that on YouTube and Rumble. If you're listening, rate, review, comment, whatever you can do on your platform is always appreciated. If you like the review and want to comment if you're watching, or we appreciate that. If you're just listening and you want to reach out to us, you can always go to our Instagram at VATGF podcast. And with that, I think we just play the outro music. Mike, what do you think?
Just give them that outro music.
Yeah.